Hello, everyone. My name is Monica Kretschmer, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Universal Women's Network Woman of Inspiration Awards. And this is the Woman of Inspiration podcast, where we speak with women who are leading by example, dreaming big, ignoring the naysayers, and inspiring others to live their life on purpose and realize their dreams too. So today we are speaking with Margaret Adu. And Margaret, you are our 2020 Woman of Inspiration, Black Women Leader Award recipient for this year. And so I'm super excited to have the opportunity to share with our listeners your story about coming to Canada and really building your career here. You're raising your kids and, really making an impact in the lives of the people that you touch. So without further ado, welcome, Margaret.
Thank you so much, Monica, and thank you for having me on your podcast. It's exciting to be here. Ready to
Well,
chat?
and I know that before we hopped on and I pressed record on our podcast today, I always do this. We have the most interesting conversations in the green room. And I said, stop, we have to get this on tape because our listeners are going to be really inspired with your story. So, Margaret, we're talking about how you actually arrived in Canada from Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can share your story, and I know it's going to come out even better than we talked about, but share your story, how you arrived here, and just the description of arriving to a different country. Where you came from, it was very different.
Yeah. So, yeah, I did arrive here, I think, 93 of March. And as I was telling Monica, I was a seasoned architect back home in Ghana. I had my own practice, I had plans. My husband was doing his PhD at U of A in Edmonton. So I had to come. And it was a tough call because I just didn't want to leave Ghana. And so my dad was like, "You are married, you got to go." So I was like, "Yeah, I know, I got to go." So here I go to the Canadian embassy trying to get a visa to come to Ghana and to come to Canada. And these visa guys, they tossing me up and down. So I looked at the woman straight in her face and I said, "Hey, you think I want to go back? I want to go to that country of yours? I hear it's really cold, okay? You give me that visa. It's warm here. I have a life here. And I don't want to go and face any cold. Give me that visa now." And she looks at my face and says, "Think about 2 p.m. I said, no 2 p.m. stuff. I want the visa now. You put that stamp in." Then she looks at my face and goes, "Papa, here." I'm like, "Thank you. Good girl." Then I had to come. I arrived and my husband came with his old dirty car. And I was like, the car is so dirty. Back home in Ghana, we clean cars every day because we have drivers who clean the car every morning. And I'm like, what's happening? And he was late. So I was so mad, being a sports brat. Well, I sat in the car and then we come out and the roads were all dead. I'm like, this place is really dirty. What's happening here? I had no idea it was March and the snow was slush. So I get to where he lives and it was Hub Mall. I'm like, we live in the mall? Hub Mall? What's Hub Mall? It says, yeah, it's student residence and there's a mall at the bottom. I'm like, oh my goodness. Then we get to his room and it's this tiny room, the double bed, fits exactly in the room. I called my mom and said, I can't stay here. First of all, the country is dirty. The room is tiny. My mom was like, relax. I said, Mom, you should see the place. And we live in the Hub Mall, and his room is at the corner where there are smokers. And the smoke, my mom flew all the way here. She says, girl, I'm come to see where you live. So she comes to visit. She says, settle down, you'll be okay, settle down. It was a good thing she came. Honestly, I realized I had nowhere to go and I was stuck in Alberta. So Margaret, I'm gonna sulk. I'm gonna make the best out of it. Figure that for yourself. I realized I'm gonna make the best out of it. And 20, how many years now? 27 years or 28. 28 years this March. I'm still here. And I'm not sulking, but I've achieved a lot.
Oh,
just by embracing who I am
and
in this.
yes, you have achieved a lot. And I just thought, you know, for one, I can see moving from some place that you're completely comfortable, you're really set up, you have a great job, you have a business, you have your education, and it's warm. Why on earth would you come to Alberta? Of course, it's for your husband. But you completely had to build your whole life here again. And what I find really interesting is that I'd love you to share with your listeners about your experience as an architect and with a armful of experience that you're bringing along with you. How hard was it to get a job from the beginning?
It was really tough, honestly. I just went to the library and I got the Alberta Institute of Architects. They have this whole book and all their names are in there with their practices. So I thought I was just gonna make phone calls because I'm a go-getter. I don't sit, I just call or I go straight to your office. And that's how I talk to you to get a job. So then I go to the library, get this, come home, make all these phone calls, and everyone I call be like, no, 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 no. And at that time, we're not building in Alberta. I could tell they were not building like now, and everyone was like, no, no, no. I'm like, then I called this guy and we got the address. The address seemed like it was really close to where we lived. It was on White Avenue, and we lived like a block from White Avenue. I'm like, it must be close. So he goes, no. So then I just said, okay, put the phone down, grab my portfolio, walked out of our apartment, straight down White I've been looking for the address, and I found it. I zoomed straight into his office. I'm like, I'm here. He says, you're here for what? I'm like, I know. I just spoke to you. He said he had no job, but I want a job. And he goes, we don't have a job. I said, but I'm not going anywhere. I want a job. And he goes, we don't have a job. I said, I have my portfolio. You haven't even looked at it. He goes, we don't have any openings here, no positions. Okay, I'll work for free. He goes, you what? I said, I'll work for free. He goes, really? Why would you do that? I said, because I'm Black and I'm a woman. I don't have Canadian experience. I have an accent, as you would say, but I don't have an accent. I speak the Queen's English. This is how I speak, but you see that I have an accent. I have a gap in my teeth because I didn't wear braces, but this is me. And because I don't look right for the job, right? Because I do not have the Canadian experience. And I know that I don't have the Canadian education either, but I'll work for free. He goes, let me see your portfolio. So I opened the portfolio. He goes, oh, wow, there's some good work. I said, yeah, you see, I worked in England a bit and I did all this. So I'll work for free. He says, okay, that's your desk. I go, okay, thank you. The fact that I had a desk was good enough. I was going to do architecture. Well, all this time, I needed to support my husband because he was a student. So I started looking for other jobs, right? So then I got a job with some home care agency, and then she trained me on home care. So that I do the architectural job, and then she would send me to this lady who had polio, was really disabled with a disabled husband and an adopted son. A lovely couple, lovely family. So I did a 4 o'clock to 11 o'clock shifts, and she taught me on the job, So after working with the architecture company for a bit, like I think it was a month, I decided to sleep in.
On purpose.
Yeah. I knew what I was doing.
Intentionally sleeping in late for the job because
Yeah.
they weren't paying you anyways.
Because they're not paying me, it's voluntary. So I just slept in, and she goes, Margaret, you're late, you're not here. I'm like, hey, remember you don't pay me? Oh, you don't pay me today, I'm sleeping in. Well, the job has to go to Japan, blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah, the job has to go to Japan, but I'm sleeping in, you don't pay me. Hey, you want me to come in, write the contract? I'll be there. He goes, Margaret, we want you to come in. We'll write the contracts. Please come in. I say, now you are talking. Now I have arrived. I had to work for free. You had to figure me out. You realize that you needed me. I was good for the job. So now, you see, I got you. Write the contract. I'll be there. So that's how I got my first architecture job, paid job. Can you imagine? I'm working there. I'm working at home care. Then I get pregnant. I told Daryl, I gotta quit the job. You can't quit. You can't quit. I'm like, what do you mean I can't quit? I can't take my daughter to daycare. This is a miracle baby I had. I've been looking for a baby for 3 years, and I got this beautiful baby girl. I'm not doing no daycare business, okay? I can't, it's not happening. This baby too is all breast milk, breast milk, breast milk. So I don't know how I'm gonna deal with daycare. And she goes, Margaret, just take the job home, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, I'll try. Can you imagine how the tables turned? So I take the job home. My baby is all over. I said, Daryl, I gotta quit. That's it. He says, oh my goodness. I said, I can't do this working at home. I need to be 100% for my baby. So I quit. And I had the home care job, but then that one too, it was easy to take the night shift, leave the baby with daddy and do night shifts, and come breastfeed, take care of baby during the day, leave the baby with daddy in the night, do night shifts. Yeah. So that's how it all ended. So when I was leaving and my husband got a job in Calgary, so we had to move to Calgary. When I was leaving, I said to Daryl, I'm going to Calgary. He goes, you are going to do so well. I haven't been such a persistent, persuasive woman in my whole life. You are going far, girl. I said, thank you, Daryl. He says, I'll keep you a reference letter anytime. I'm like, oh, okay. So he wrote me a reference letter. I came to Calgary, got some architectural company, took the letter. They hired me on the spot. Then I'm like, what am I doing? I left the office, driving home. I'm like, I can't even take this job. I have to do daycare here to get 360-10 straight back to the office. I said, I quit. He said, we just hired you. How do you quit? I said, honestly, I can't do it. I have a baby. I can't do home care, daycare. I can't do that. I have to be home with my kid, blah, blah, blah. He goes, really? So, but I have a friend and he needs a job. He's in Edmonton. I'll call him and you can give him that job. He goes, really? I said, yeah, hire him. So I called my friend and he drove here and got that job. So I stayed home to care of my baby and I started making phone calls. I took home care at night. I was doing all these home care jobs, Edgemont Lodge. I even did Walmart at night, stocking shelves. And then I remember talking to the Walmart workers. I'd be like, you know what? One day you'll be working with me. I have a plan. I'm just working to save money because I have a plan. I want to open a home. They go, what do you mean? I'm like, I took care of a lady in Edmonton and she did very well in her house. And I did home care. And when we took that lady to the nursing home, she died in 2 weeks. So I know that I have a vision to have a home. Because all those old ladies who are putting all those institutionalized 200-bed facilities, they go there and they digress and they die. And Dorothy died. She starved herself for 2 weeks. Dorothy's wish was to die in her home. Authorities went against her wish because she had no personal directives and took her to the nursing home. And Dorothy starved herself, had only half a cup of apple juice in 2 weeks and died. So on behalf of Dorothy, I'm going to buy a house one day. I'm going to make it beautiful. I'm going to have all these seniors come there. It will be one family. That was my concept, my vision, my aim. So I said, it is all for a season. I'm doing all this for a season. So I was saving money towards my first home. And I really couldn't save much, but I did all the night jobs. Till then, I was ready to buy the home. And the home, I didn't even have money for the home, but I knew I wanted that home. So one day, as I was driving, I saw this lovely bungalow. I stopped. So that is the house. I'm claiming this house in Jesus' name. This is my home. And I called the realtor. He goes, what do you want? I'm like, I want the house. He says, do you have the money? I said, no. He goes, you can assume the mortgage. Those days you could assume the mortgage. You didn't have to qualify. And it was $36,000. $36,000? I don't have $36,000, but I want the house. He goes, but you need the money. I said, you call the owner. I said, there's a crazy black woman here who is saying that she wants his house. He goes, what did you say? I said, you heard what I said. I said, call the owner. He goes, we have an offer. I said, I don't care. Just call the owner. Everybody's destiny is different. Call the owner. And I begged that realtor to call. And he had come to meet me at the house. And then he called me and he says, there's this lady here. She's insisting she wants your home. She goes, really? Tell her I'll give her the home. I'll lend her the money to assume the mortgage. He says, what? The realtor said, what did you just say? We have an offer. He says, no. Tell the lady I'm going to lend her the money to assume the mortgage. She can pay me when she's ready. That is how I got my first home.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's pause here and just think about that. I always say, you don't get what you don't ask for.
You ask and you shall receive. I'm telling you, Monica, everything I've done in this country is just asking, because I'm going to get a yes or a no. Get a no, I'll deal with it. Mm-hmm. No's are good. They push you on. Yes too are good. So for me, I'd ask. That's me. When we applied for landed immigrancy, my husband said to me that it's not allowed. When you're a student, you have to leave and go back to your country. This guy keeps on this PhD degree he's never done because he doesn't want to go back to his country. I said, when I apply for London, he said, no, you can't apply for London. We have to go back. I said, David, I don't care what the law says. We can just try. You never know. He says, the law says that students can apply. I said, okay, I'll apply. Monica, do you know I applied? In 3 months, I got it. And all the students at UOV, the international students, like, did you hear that there was this woman came from Ghana? She's married to David Nyaku, and she got it. He said, she got what? She got landed. How did she do it? I just applied. That's all. And you know, when they called me and said, welcome to Canada, I said, huh? Is that it? I thought we were supposed to go to Buffalo or someplace for an interview. She says, no, miss. Just drive to Kootenay, Montana or whatever it is, and turn around. And then they'll give you a stamp, welcome to Canada. So I said, you see, I just asked. I just applied. Just do it. You never know. That's me.
So I'm going to ask you about your 3 words that best describe you.
3 words that best describe me. I'm authentic. I'm frank. Some people say I like to be humble, you know, because in everything I do, I want humility to be first and foremost. So I might not look that, but I'm very humble. Okay, so if I ask people, because sometimes I don't know myself, so I have a lot of people tell me so many, they'll be like, you're authentic, you're assertive, you're diligent. I don't know which one to choose. But what I say for myself is, I am authentic, I'm humble, and I can be frank and assertive. Sometimes my frankness can hurt, and I take it back like, you got to know me, please. I didn't mean to hurt you. I just say it as it is sometimes, but I'm sorry. So I'm learning to be sensitive to a lot of people and be careful how frank I am. Yeah.
I would say one word that pops into my mind. It starts with an A and it ends with an S. Ambitious.
Yeah.
You know, and that word is one that's being talked about right now, thanks to Mina Harris, is that word about being ambitious. And,
yes.
You know, how women, you know, it's almost like it was a dirty word for a woman to be ambitious. Yeah. You know, but it's such a powerful word to be ambitious and to own that power. And so that's definitely a word that I have for you, is ambitious. And you don't take no for an answer, which is A-okay for man or woman. Is, you know, you have to be able to ask for what you want, be okay with the no's, but just keep building towards your dreams. So super powerful story. And I hope listeners are absorbing some of your, you know, And it's true. You're very authentic and humble about it. And, you just try. And
I
there's,
just try. And Monica, I just came to realize that my aha moment for me was I knew that I had to accept who I was, in a foreign land. And even if it was not in a foreign land, even in Ghana, because sometimes we try to be somebody we are not. I realized that look, I'm not going to be speaking like Monica. I am not going to be bleached like Monica. I have more tans. I tell people, oh, I think when God created us, my barbecue bent. And I like bent barbecue. So I'm dark. I'm not. And I remember when the dentist said they were going to put braces on me when I came, because back when I went to the dentist, and I'm here and they're like, oh, we can put braces on and close that gap. I'm like, that's my signature. In my country, that's a sign of beauty. So if you close that gap, it will change who I am. So I came to realize that embrace me. And the day that I realized that, no, this is me and this is who I am, that was my aha moment. I've always said, embrace your you. It's only when you embrace your you will you achieve the unthinkable. Because when you embrace your you be confident with your you. And when you are confident with your you will love your you. Your you is the only one you have. You are you. If you can't love you first, what are you going to love? Because at the end of the day, you are left with this forever. It's the only thing you got that you really own. So if I can't embrace who I am, I'm not going to be confident enough to be able to face anybody or my adversities or my competition. I'm not going to be able to, because I don't have the confidence in who I am. But if I believe in who I am and I'm appreciative of God's creation of me, then hey, who can be in my way except me? Nobody made a difference trying to be somebody else anyway. You can only make a difference being yourself.
So have you always been this confident, Margaret, that we see today?
No. So
How did
looking
that happen?
back,
Everybody says, how do you get confidence? And I have my own thoughts on that, but I'm really excited to hear your thoughts.
because I became proud of me. I was happy. I embraced me. When I was growing up, trust me, back home wasn't easy. Growing up back home, you couldn't talk. I couldn't talk, like they'll slap you. Just shut up. You're too mouthy. You can't go to your mom and say things. So most of us grew up having low self-esteem, think you're not beautiful enough. And even in Africa, people see lighter skin, even here, lighter skin better than darker skin. So people of color, women of color, try to bleach their skin. And so you always think you are the lesser of the folk, right? Yeah. So, but I realized that I had a voice. So when I came out of there and I came to a foreign land where nobody was like, shut up, keep quiet. I was like, oh, here too, there are some good parts about this land. I'm going to combine both. When I raise up my kids, I try to combine both the culture here and the culture. But my daughter said to me one day, Mom, you did a really good job bringing us up, because we appreciate the culture here and we appreciate who we are too. We appreciate the culture back home. Back home, when you get a gift today, tomorrow you can say thank you, but tomorrow morning you got to call and say thank you again for the gift. It's one of the cultures. I said my two girls went home without me when they were 15 and 17. My mom called me and says, Margaret. I said, what? She says, you trained your girls well. Danielle and Debbie were here yesterday. I gave them something. This morning, they called to say thank you. I said, so I called. And then when Danielle was telling Debbie, we're going to call grandma and say things. Debbie was like, we already thanked her yesterday. And Danielle goes, don't you hear mom always calling to say thank you the following day? So you have to match both. There are good things here. So I came and like, wow, I'm in this country, I got to embrace me. I got to love me. I'm no lesser than anybody. Nobody, I've taught everybody that nobody is above anybody. All you have to do is you have to make yourself better. You understand? You have to make yourself better. You are not better than anyone else, but to be better than you used to be yesterday. So every day you get up, you're a better person than yesterday. So at the end of the day, I realized that crap, know that saying that goes, what's the saying? Be the kind of woman that when your feet hit the ground every morning, the devil goes, crap, she's up again. Because that day when you get up, it's gonna be better. It's gonna be better. So
I was gonna ask you, so confident and humble, and I love the thank yous that you've taught your daughters. I think that's really great. I love thank you notes, and I created stationery for that. But what I want to ask you is, how does it feel when you're on your path doing what you're doing and you're okay in your own skin, and then you have somebody that says, congratulations, Margaret, you've been nominated for a Woman of Inspiration Award. How does it feel to be recognized?
Honestly, everybody needs validation, because we go about our daily jobs and people think, oh, you're okay, oh, she's okay, she's got this. Every one of us needs validation. I can't explain it because it's an out of skin experience. I remember my first one, not my first awards, was Immigrant of Distinction Award to a member. And I was like, what did they see in me? And then when you guys awarded me, I'm like, what did they see in me? And I was so grateful. It made me want to do more. It made me want to realize that, wow, I'm making a big difference in the lives of others. That's success for me. For me, success is not about your bank account, but about what you can impact on others, that they can impact on others. And before you know, a whole community is impacted in a very positive way. And that's success.
Well said.
You know, so when I got that award, it was like, it was all not in vain. Somebody is watching and somebody has been impacted by what I've been doing. I don't know who nominated me. Till today, I was like, whoever saw the reason to nominate me, I must have touched that person in a very big way, you know, for the person to realize that this woman has to be recognized because she's doing so much and nobody is really validating her. Everybody needs validation.
So did that help position you, like, so what has been sort of your experience since that is
It's
all
wanting me to do more. It's wanting me to do more. I wish I could do more like outreach. You know, I love outreach a lot. I usually tell my kids, I think there's more I can do. So far as I have breath, there must be more I can give, you know, because if you're a woman of inspiration, there are lots more women who need to hear from you, or who need you to be there for them, or who need you to mentor them, or who need you to tell them that, look, you are capable, you are beautiful the way you are unique. Embrace you. You know, look, hold on to you. Love you. You know, there are more people who need to hear this. A lot of youth, it's so sad to see little girls think they are not good enough, you know, and wanting to be somebody else. Why do you want to be somebody else? You're Monica, I'm Margaret.
It takes a while, you know, to get comfortable in that skin. And
it takes a while. I know.
When we were growing up, I know we didn't have a lot of like really big female role models. And now we have so many more opportunities to share stories like yourself and share the wisdom from women who can help support, you know, young girls kind of, you know, build that confidence and navigate careers, just like, what happens when you get a no? Try again, what's the worst that can happen to you? Just ask, right? So there's so many more women around us now, Margaret, that are able to champion for each other and to
Mhm,
influence our younger generation. So we're in a
mhm,
really cool time.
mhm.
Still a lot of growth that needs to happen, but I look at when I was young, I didn't have that.
Yeah, I didn't have that either. I didn't have that either. And I didn't have that at all, trust me. I'm the only girl among so many boys. I didn't have that. I look back and my kids always say, write a book, mom. I say, one day I write a book. But I didn't have that. And because I didn't have that, I know there are so many people who need that.
Mhm.
And so I've had the opportunity to talk a lot, to speak a lot. I've done a lot of speeches and I've traveled a lot to share some of these inspirational stories, and impact the lives of other women. And there are lots of them like me who have had no, 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 and who have thought they're not good enough, even from the way they speak, the way they look, no. And my son sent me a text yesterday. Mom, my son is so funny. When he sends a text, he texts like he's calling me at home. He goes, Mom, are you there? Mom. I say, yes, Kobe. Mom, if somebody says you don't look the parts for a managerial position, is that systematic racism? I said, yeah. He goes, thank you, Mom. Okay, good night. So things like this happen, right? Yeah, and you're gonna get no all the. That's what happened to me when I came. He wouldn't give me the job because I didn't fit the position. And honestly, Monica, what I didn't tell you was he had a Japanese partner, and he was Canadian. And the Japanese partner cared less for me. He didn't want to see me at all. The Canadian was nicer when he gave me the job. And then one day, as I was working, a client came to the office, and he was Japanese. And the client said, I was working like this, and I just heard somebody speak behind me in my dialect, in my Ghanaian dialect. And he said, how are you, in my Ghanaian dialect? So I'm like, you just speak Ghanaian? You just speak Tree? He goes, yeah. He says, I'm the main client. And at the time, we're designing for Japan. We're introducing the 2x4 framing in Japan because of their earthquakes for lighter buildings. He said, I'm the main client. I just flew in today. And he spoke my language. He goes, yeah, I can speak your language. I was in your country for 2 years. I know.
Amazing.
I know. He goes, I know exactly the school you went to. I lived in that city for 2 years. And he goes, you know what he did? He said, guys, the school she went to is the best in the Commonwealth in Africa. Right away, the Japanese partner became my friend because this was the clients that we're working for. See
Mm-hmm.
how the world is. That client invited David and I to dinner that night. He didn't invite any of the others there.
Mm-hmm.
That is why you should never turn your back on people because you never know who is going to lift you up one day when you are down.
Mm-hmm.
Never know. The job I do, I meet a lot of different clients. And honestly, I've come to see the world in a different perspective. Whoever you see, wherever they come from, whatever their situation, you got to be nice. You got to give a helping hand because you never know when you'll be in that situation.
So true, Margaret. I am thinking about a couple things, and I have to go back a little bit earlier in some of my questions and your answers. And I'm thinking about you stocking the shelf at Walmart, right?
Yeah.
And how many of us were ever in a job at some point in our lives where we've said something where we're like, we're gonna do this, and you had people kind of just go, sure you are. Sure
Yeah,
you're gonna do
exactly.
that. how many people raise the hand, everybody's hand goes up, that when you say and allow that you're going to do this or build this, that you have people going, okay, sure you are, right? I just love that piece. Is such a good reminder, right? That you never know who you're working with, who you're going to be rubbing shoulders with, each and every day,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
That are part of that bigger vision. That, and you said that you were going to, you're going to work with me one day, so
Yeah.
you and I are going to bust out of here and you're
Yeah.
going to work with me one day,
Yeah.
so relationships are everything.
Yeah.
And like you said, never turn your back on anyone, because you never know where the opportunity will come, where, it provides a
Where
door.
they would be the ones holding your hand.
Correct.
They would be the ones holding your hand. You never know.
So great. And I think those are really, so when we talk about, what makes a woman of inspiration, we're talking about being humble. We're talking about being kind. We're talking about being ambitious and assertive, and, just kind of just going on your own path, not really worrying about what everybody else is thinking. And
Mhm.
what I really love to share with our listeners more and more is the fact that every woman has the ability, every woman inspires somebody. We just don't know about it half the time, right?
Mm.
Until we're nominated for something, we receive a letter or an email or a text message that said, thank you so much, you made an impact in my world. Or if you're
Mhm.
speaking, somebody comes up to you afterwards and tells you. But until
Mhm.
you can validate that and share that with somebody, you have no idea the impact that you're making. So,
Exactly.
right? So
Exactly.
listeners, if somebody inspires you, don't keep it a secret. Tell them.
Tell them.
It, it's
You
going to
have
make
to
a
tell
difference.
them. You have to. You have to tell them. You have to, because they need to validate. They need to know that,
Mm.
and it's so nice to know that you made that difference in that person's life. It's it's more rewarding than anything. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I always look forward. People like that, we love to give. We love to give more than receive. We are like that. But then when you receive, it's beyond measures. You don't know how it's. I don't know how to explain, because I'm always in awe when I receive.
Mm.
Because usually I'm on the giving end, and everybody knows me, like I'm on the giving end. So, but my what I love to receive are just those words. You inspired me. Thank you. I love you. Want a hug? More than even the material things,
Mm.
because words go a long way. I would remember those words forever, right? And those
Words,
words,
actions.
yeah, those words will propel me to do more, to do more, to do more, to do more. When we
So,
have our
so speaking of doing more, I don't know that we had shared with our listeners, so how you connected your architecture to your home care. So tell our listeners about that, because I think that's an important part of your journey of how you connected the two worlds that you really love.
So basically, yeah, I didn't know I was gonna be a good caregiver till I took care of the lady that went into the nursing home and died in 2 weeks. But it didn't occur to me that I had made an impact on her life, because I was taking care of her through an agency. The agency told the family told the agency they wanted me to take care of it. So they took me away from the agency. Before I knew, I was taking care of Dorothy. And then I had to hire people to help me, because she was 24/7 care. So then that's how come I said Aomega. It was Alpha Omega Group. It was long. That was in Edmonton. Then before I knew, I realized that Dorothy couldn't shovel her snow. I told my husband, let's shovel the snow and shovel everybody else's snow. We can charge them. So we started shoveling snow and making money. So then I realized that this is what I wanted to do, because Dorothy would look at me and say, where did you come from? You dropped from heaven? What's your color again? She had dementia. I said, Dorothy, I'm black. She goes, no, you're dark brown. I said, whatever, Dorothy. Then she was an advert smoker and she was alcoholic. So she liked the alcohol. So I'll be like, Dorothy, you gotta quit smoking. It's not good for my cough. She goes, oh, I quit. I'll do that for you. So she quit smoking, drinking, she quit smoking, she started eating, she put on weight. Oh, she was my grandma. She was my grandma. Oh, loved her to death, and she loved me. So I realized that I could get houses. I did architecture. I could design the homes. I could renovate the homes, make them so beautiful for people like Dorothy. So I merged both. So when I was able to get that first home, I renovated it. So I took a job, a night job at Edgemont Lodge to learn the business, to learn. I was taking care of a guy.
Mm.
So I did that night, to figure it all out. So then they had fireplace, they had the lazy boy chairs, the seniors loved them. So I did everything and put that in the house. Then after that, I realized I could design the homes instead of buying them. So I designed the very first personal care home in Alberta, basically, or maybe even in Canada. I don't even know because personal care homes were not popular across the spectrum of Canada. They were mainly in Alberta. So I invited AHS come and see it. It was the first of it. It was 6 bedrooms up, 2 bedrooms down, with 7 bathrooms, elevator. But it was in a residential area, so you wouldn't know that it was a facility. So that's how I made them both. And if I can't live in the house, you can live there. So all my homes are beautifully designed or renovated and furnished, just like my home. Like I have to be able to live there. I love nice things, honestly. So and I make sure that everybody's comfortable. So that's how I made both. So it was very easy for me. And I love real estate. So it's very easy for me to acquire the real estate or design the real estate and then provide the special relationships. Architecture makes you, it helps you with special relationships, the spaces, the rooms, and stuff like that with the care. And in the end, one thing I accomplished was starting with one client. So I don't know how many clients now, 50 something. I don't know. I have to count.
50 something clients?
I think 52 of what I forgot. 46. At least I know more than 40 clients. Yeah. Yeah. So before I knew I had just the one client in the one home to so many clients in 11 homes. And I'm managing two other companies. Apart from Aomega, I manage More to Life and Toluwa Lodges. So yeah. So if you put all those clients, can I maybe 60? I keep on, yeah. So can you imagine, here I am from the peasant woman from Africa, an architect coming to Canada and switching from architecture to healthcare. People are asking, and I don't have a healthcare degree, Monica. I'm not an RN, I'm not an LPN, I'm not a doctor. I'm just Margaret Adu, the architect. But I have heart. And heart is what you need.
Mm.
If you have heart, you can do a lot.
Well, I've got a young lady that I would love to introduce you to. She started Direct Health. She was one of our Women of Inspiration 2019. So I think you need to cross paths with Jessica. She's definitely a go-getter, and she's an RN. Sorry, she's gonna call me and say that's not correct, Mon. That's not the right title for me. But she's able to write the prescriptions like a doctor would.
She's an RN then, or a licensed practical nurse. I think she's an RN. There are some RNs who are able to write prescriptions. They are high. Right. I know they done that. Yeah.
So the 8 years of schooling to come out so that she actually, does her.
Yeah, that's long. Yeah, I know those. Yeah.
Yeah.
She can be director of health for any facility.
Exactly. And she's so amazing. So yes, you have to meet her. But I want to say what an inspiring story. And I think that for listeners, it's you never know what doors will open for you, but keep focused on your passion. I think is really important for people. And, you might think that they don't connect, but they do in the end. And sometimes it's fusing the two passions that you have to actually make something work for you. So thank you for
You should know
sharing.
that in caregiving, your greatest achievement is when you see that your clients have progressed instead of digressed. So in Aomega, we believe that when the clients step foot in an Aomega facility, they're going to get better. We've had clients come in and gone back to the community to live on their own. That is how successful that program is. Personal care
So
home.
if people are wanting to get a hold of you, how do they get hold of you after listening to what you're doing for the home care industry and
Oh, my
designing
phone
and
number
building
403
the services?
2644. 403-383-2644. I always pick up my line.
So, or you link on LinkedIn. Is there a LinkedIn address for you?
Yeah. I'm on LinkedIn. Yeah.
I think LinkedIn's pretty safe, to be honest with you. So I'm going to suggest that the listeners contact you on LinkedIn. They can say,
It's pretty
Margaret,
safe.
I heard your interview on Woman of Inspiration podcast, and I'd love to learn more about what you're doing. So I think that would be a great way.
Yeah.
Everyone, I just want to say thank you so much, Margaret. Before we end today, I always ask, it's Woman of Inspiration. You are a woman of inspiration. You're inspiring others in your path. And I think that your voice to inspire other women, either new to the country or just finding their own way, I always want to know, who is your woman of inspiration? Who inspires you?
I think when I came here first, Oprah inspired me a lot. Oprah inspired me a lot because of where she came from and what she achieved. And she was a typical Black woman. So, and I think that also speared me to knowing that I could do something with being a typical Black woman. Yeah. So she did inspire me. I think she still. I don't. You don't hear of her much now. I'm always asking, where's Oprah? Where's Oprah? I keep on asking, but she still inspires me.
Oprah's relaxing from that 2020 roadshow that she did right before
Yes.
right before COVID hit. I think the last
exactly
that was J-Lo in LA. So I know that was jam-packed. She was on the road. I don't know where she gets her energy, but
I know.
Yeah, so Oprah's resting right now.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, keep on asking. Yeah, but she did inspire me a lot because she also defied adversities. She was not supposed to be in that position. She wasn't the look for the position. She wasn't the look, but somebody saw something in her.
And she never gave up, and she
never gave up.
And I remember one interview where she said, nope, and I'm going to go out and build this network. Watch me. I'm going to build this network. And I watched that over and over and on, and I love it. So yes,
she never gave up.
It's a true inspiration to so many women and men, just in general. But thank you, Margaret. Any last words you would love to share with our listeners today?
Let's see. There was a saying that okay, I wrote something. There was a saying that have you seen that saying that says that where is that again? I wrote it somewhere. I said I was going to read it to you. It's something about women have to work like men.
I like that one. The people.
What do you say?
The people that are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones that do. That's one of my hand down favorite quotes in the world. So I
okay.
Crazy.
There's one that says that it's hard to be a woman. You must think like a man, act like a lady, look like a young girl, and work like a horse. That is so pathetic, isn't it? We literally have to be someone we don't want to be before society acknowledges our being, and I think that is wrong. Trying to be someone else never beats confidence and progress. What happened to woman that has a sense of identity, accepting of who you are regardless, and being confident and ambitious regardless? Today, I stand up here, a very proud woman. I'm not going to think like a man. I'm not going to think like a man to get ahead. Women are equally smart. I don't have to look like a young girl to get ahead. A grown up woman is equally beautiful. I'm accepting my body that changes over time beautifully. And why do I have to work like a horse when I'm not an animal, but a woman? Thank you, Monica.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, you're one confident, ambitious woman. I'm so happy to have you in our circle. I'm looking forward to having you part of our 100 Woman of Inspiration book, where we're
I'm
going to
looking
be
forward
shaking
to
it up
that.
for 2021 on the roadways of Canada, and looking forward to really creating some impact, inspiring others, along the way, inviting women to step in and into their own greatness. So thank you so much, Margaret.
Thank you,
It's been
Monica.
treat,
It's been a pleasure too. Been
and
a
I
really
look
good
forward
pleasure.
to the journey ahead.
Thank you. Bless you. Thank you for all you do too. You are one energetic Monica, honestly. And keep it that way. You are who you are. And that's why you are there.
Well, thank you. And I have to say, I'm resting now because that road show is going from Vancouver all the way to Halifax. So
Oh my goodness.
we're we're talking 16 days. Yeah, I'm sleeping extra, a little bit extra every night just to make up for it.
Wow. Thank you. Take
Thank you.
care.
Take care.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Have a great day. And thank you to all of our listeners. That was the Woman of Inspiration podcast. Our guest today was Margaret Adu, who's the president of Aomega. So if you'd like to learn more about the Women of Inspiration podcast, listen to other episodes here on Spotify, iTunes. And if you love this episode, I encourage you to please share with some other women that just need that dose of energy and inspiration today. So thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll see you again real soon.